It was December 26, 1976.
The new TenQ is coming in less than 10 minutes. Stand by, KHJ.
The happening was an event for Los Angeles radio and the industry. The sign-on of KTNQ, TenQ, then the market's newest top 40 rocker.
Radio staff ever put together. Let's hear it. Come on.
In the birth of TenQ, the Aircheck factory reviewed the sign-on of this rocker that in 2.5 years has become an almost legend, presenting the likes of some true broadcast greats over its airwaves.
Give him the man. Give him the man. Go ahead. We're ready. Go. Whoa. TNQ Los Angeles, the new TenQ, Chuck Routing. It's 5 o'clock. Can you dig it? All right. Boss Jock.
I'm Rich Brother Robin, former Boss Jock also. Listen, it's really good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, Rich. Have you been in touch with yourself?
I've been in touch with recently, as a matter of fact. I got a machine to do it now. It works. It works. All right, is it my turn?
Sure it is. All right, well, we're going to get a horn. Pick it up and blow it. Baby, I got
It is 5:30 here at the new TenQ. I am Rich Brother Robin. We are going to race some cane around here tonight, baby. We have been already, but we're just getting started. Get down! Oh, let's hear it for the boys in the band, baby. All right. Yeah, get down.
Hey, listen to my friends. KTNQ. You got it? Los Angeles, the new TenQ. It's 6:02. And this is John M. Driscoll. And this is America.
Well, when I met you at the station, you were standing with a bootleg in your hand.
I'd like to say a pleasant hello before anything else. Is that all right? Are you through now?
I am through, but real, you're working the mic too close.
Why?
I'll give you a little tip.
Yeah?
Ask me how far you should work from it.
How far? Oh, tell me, John, how far should I work from the mic?
You got a car?
Tina Delgado is alive!
What controls this record? What controls? All the guys out there in the spirit of the season, do not worry about your job security. Yet.
Anytime.
I'm ready.
Anytime, Real Don.
Can I blow it?
You may blow your whistle. I gotta tell you, the Real Don Steele has got to be the greatest disc jockey in the whole wide world. This is Beaver Cleaver, and I just want to say, Real, you are indeed the Sandy Koufax of radio. And who? What do you mean? Aren't you Jewish? Sandy Koufax. And Real Don and I
look like a baseball player.
worked together at another radio station in Los Angeles, and that was 2 years ago. And the last thing
about the nude scene.
The last thing that I ever said on that station was, "See you tomorrow." All right, my beaver shot hit it. KTNQ Los Angeles. Boy, it's sure good to say Los Angeles, man. And finally, I have made it to a real live, legitimate radio station with my voice, Beaver Cleaver, on the new TenQ. Gathering up all the courage and phlegm I can muster, I would like to welcome to Los Angeles, Dave Conley.
Hold it, man. I dig it, but there's one thing wrong.
What?
All the phlegm that you could muster just dribbled all over my shirt, man. That's, I don't know what to tell you. Fever?
Yeah.
Keep on writing the Tony Randall show.
I will, baby, I will.
TenQ, KTNQ, Los Angeles, 7:30 in the nighttime. This is me, Dave Comedy, taking a little bit of time out, baby, from my regular job, which is making coat hangers for Real Don Steele 13-year-old groupies training bras. Hockey Plums, Nancy. How you doing, baby?
Hockey Plums. Listen, I want to hear some songs like Street Fighting Women, okay?
All right, we're going to do a women's lib street fighting, what, Master Blaster, hit it,
All
baby.
right. Woo! KTNQ, Los Angeles. I'm Nancy Plum, and you remember that because I'm going to be the person that gets you through the night.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Well, I'm going to be dancing all night tonight at 1 a.m. I've got to make way right now for Tony Evans. Hello, Tony.
Can I talk now?
You can talk, Tony.
Is it my turn? I've waited all night. I've practiced
Here.
meditation for the
I'm
last
getting
hour.
up.
I can't sit down now.
I'm getting up.
I cannot sit down now. The new TenQ all over Los Angeles. Look outside, the joint is jumping on Western. All my friends are here. They're going to rock with me, too.
Shawnee's birthday. Happy, happy birthday. Happy birthday, baby. Oh. It's your birthday, birthday, birthday.
On July 31st, a confirmed rumor became fact as KTNQ ended its brief but colorful history by switching places with its FM sister, KHTZ. Until the switch was thrown, KHTZ, the former KGBS-FM, had been a country outlet. At noontime on Tuesday, July 31st, KTNQ became an all-Spanish language outlet, and KHTZ dropped its country format, adopting the entire KTNQ staff. Charlie Tuna's last morning show on TenQ was rock and roll radio at its best. In the studio, along with Tuna, was Bobby Morgan, who until the previous week had offered country to morning listeners on KHTZ. Sergio the Rooster was there. He's the new KTNQ Spanish language morning man, and also living legend Wolfman Jack. The festivities included an autopsy on the old KHTZ country format, a cloning experiment on the Wolfman, and other assorted foolishness.
TenQ, that's the knack. TenQ and K-Hits 97. Charlie Tuna.
Is that what that is, the knack?
8:20. He's here.
It's 20 minutes after 8.
No, it's 8:20. You do it.
You got 40 minutes if you got to be there by 9. The only guy in the world that gets behind some old woman, who, by the way, was ugly, that doesn't have to be anywhere this morning.
I got to introduce you. You haven't. I've been sitting here answering telephones saying, "Where's Bobby?" And let me introduce you to my TenQ listeners. Bobby Morgan. Bob Morgan here has been our resident K-Hits morning man on the countryside for what has it been now? 18
Since we went country.
years.
72 years. It seems. 1974.
Everybody's wondering, well, what's happening to Bobby?
Yeah. Well, I was on like 6 to midnight for a while.
Yeah.
But then we got rid of the clown that put me on 6 to midnight. And I got back in the mornings. And, I've been doing mornings ever since.
Yeah. Have you got any plans? That's what your listeners want to know.
Yes, I'm going to go bask in the sun for at least 2 weeks, and then I'm going on to another radio station.
Why don't we tell them? That's one thing.
Well, I don't want to say yet.
You don't want to say?
No.
Oh, you're still negotiating?
Yes.
Okay, well, they can call
Big
the station.
business and all that,
They can call the station and find out where you went. Then.
Absolutely.
Because
all they have to do is turn the radio on. I mean, there's only one other country station in town, really.
That's one of the things that's always bothered me about this business, and why management is persistent in that, is that even in television news or something, somebody disappears one day and you don't know where they went.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. And that's always
and the only way that if you're an avid fan of that person, the only way you can find out is to turn the dial.
Yeah.
And people are creatures of habit, so they're not going to turn the dial, really. They're just going to call a radio station.
Say, what
maybe.
happened?
Yeah, and I could never understand why, competition is good.
Right.
But you can't ignore competition.
I don't think you ignore the fans.
No, you can't. You can't. But pretending like another radio station does not exist in town is really dumb.
Yes.
You know, I mean, because they're all there.
Yeah.
Well,
You realize what's happening here right now?
Mm-mm.
This is the first time people predicted it would never happen. Morgan and Tuna on the same radio station.
Our love is alive, and so we begin.
TenQ.
That's Merle Haggard.
K-Hits 97 FM. Charlie Tuna and Bobby Morgan here. And Boyd R. Britton. Boyd.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Boyd. How you doing?
What time is it?
You're an alcoholic, Boyd.
Takes one to know one, Bob.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
I have a question from a listener. We were talking about how we always appreciate our listeners out there. A question here from Ken. Hello, Ken.
Hi, Charlie.
How you doing?
Listen, I'd like to congratulate you for doing what you're doing up there.
Thank you.
It sounds fantastic down here in Orange County, but the question I had was,
Yeah.
You should say
at 9 o'clock, you're going to be doing some cloning.
Right, we're going to clone a world-famous personality. Don't miss this.
World famous.
World famous. What's the question,
Okay,
though?
the question is it going to be odd or even?
Why did we pick the 31st, you might ask? So that odd and even both may partake.
Of course, they are odd and even.
It's a schizoid day today at the pumps.
Yes.
What's new, Boyd?
Oh, not much, Bobby. I have a little-known fact. The first time Richard Burton kissed Elizabeth Taylor, she belched. It's true. He first kissed her while they were filming Cleopatra.
No, it was a whoopee cushion. Nobody knew the difference.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, I've got to warm up my harp here. May I? Thank you. From the TenQ and K-Hits 97 newsroom, this is Boyd R. Britton reporting. There'll be no L.A. County government strike as the majority of unions reach tentative pay raise settlements a full day before the August 1st strike deadline. Six Flags Magic Mountain is reported considering using metal detectors at the gates to keep armed gang members out of the amusement park, which was the scene of a brawl and fatal stabbing on Saturday night. A mild earthquake hit downtown L.A. this morning at 5:51 a.m., centered 5 miles southeast of the Civic Center. It measured 2.7 on the Richter scale, and while it shook, it didn't break anything we know of. The California PTA denies it is anti-busing, but the state parent-teacher group is endorsing Proposition 1, the Robbins Amendment, to ban mandatory busing as a remedy for de facto segregation. Mary Nichols will be the new chairperson of the State Air Resources Board. Now that Tom Quinn is going to work on the Brown for President campaign, Nichols is a veteran of the ARB, also worked for the L.A. City Attorney's Office. She says she will press for statewide vehicle inspection as one tactic for fighting smog. And, of course, Tom Quinn has announced, it's official for him at least, that he is working on a presidential committee to test the country's political leanings because Jerry Brown is running for president. And Lieutenant Governor Mike Curb says now that that's more or less official, it's important that he and Governor Brown get along because Brown will be out of state a lot. Firefighters using bulldozers and helicopters spraying water have contained a brush blaze which charred about 1,400 acres up in the Sequoia National Forest at a place called Miracle Hot Springs east of Bakersfield. Anyway, Pepino Cuevas defended his welterweight title successfully in a 15-round decision over Randy Shields of North Hollywood. Cuevas from Mexico, the fight in Chicago. You know about Jack McKinney, the Rams' new coach. You probably know about Silver Eagle winning the feature at Del Mar. And you know what the weather's going to be? Mostly sunny and smoggy this afternoon with highs in the 80s and 90s with FM 97 and 10Q.
8:29.
No, it's not.
What?
No. It's 10 seconds before. It's not 8:29, Charlie.
8:30 then.
Okay, 8:30.
Okay.
Don't confuse these people.
You're confused.
Gotta celebrate.
Okay.
And in stereo, it's...
White people on drugs.
Wait a minute. K-Hits 97 FM.
This is Bob Morgan. This is Bob Morgan and Charlie Tuna.
Yes. Eat your heart out, Alan Roger.
You darn right.
8:35, and this is my
25 minutes if you got to be there by 9.
first time on FM.
Welcome aboard, Charlie.
No static at all.
Absolutely not. Not yet.
Worry the bottle, mama. It's grapefruit wine.
TenQ and K-Hits 97 FM. We have 3 ways, right?
With Rich Brother Robin and John M. Driscoll.
8:40, Charlie Tuna with
20 minutes if you got to be there by 9.
Bob Morgan. I'm going to let you do the traffic. You take a look at that first,
Charlie.
and I'll get you all set up. Meanwhile, let me do the weather first. Fair skies. I'll do the fair weather. Fair weather friend. Fair skies through tomorrow, except late night, early morning, low clouds and fog near the coast. Slightly warmer. High today and tomorrow should be about 88, and overnight lows down in the middle 60s, 67 downtown, 65 at the beaches. Foggy out in Glendale, or
a little hazy, but
well,
not
hazy. Okay, well, they have mostly clear skies out in the valleys. It's 70 out there, 65 in Orange County. By the way, since the transition is going on here with 10Q on FM, you probably aren't used to some of the, I understand the loyalty of those country fans out there, but we have what in the rock genre is called groupies.
Charlie, I was a rock and roll disc jockey for 18 years before we played country music here.
You're right. So you know, well, I've got somebody on the phone
I used
here.
to know a lot of groupies, but I don't anymore.
Somebody on the phone here. You got a question about Bob Morgan?
Oh, I said he had a very sexy voice. Is he married?
Here's the traffic, Bob.
Get her phone number. Eastbound San Bernardino Freeway, there's an accident between Peck and Santa Anita. And we have a severe accident on the Santa Monica Freeway. Really bad problems. Eastbound accident at the Harbor Freeway. Eastbound accident west of La Brea. And there's a westbound accident west of Western. All major tie-ups on the Santa Monica Freeway this morning. Try to avoid it if you possibly can. Charlie Tuna and Bob Morgan.
20 minutes. The Clone.
It was early morning yesterday. I was up before the dawn.
10Q, Charlie Tuna. Too many disc jockeys spoil the morning. I think in here.
Yeah. You're right.
8:46.
I think I'll leave.
No, I'm going to leave.
Are you going to leave?
I'm leaving first.
You can't do that.
You're right. We have to stick around for
I don't know how to run that board.
Now, wait a minute. You're tossing out industry terms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Board. They'll think we don't like our jobs.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Control panel.
Control panel.
You like that? Okay.
Control console.
Matter of fact, while on the subject of radio, we have a very special breakfast cereal I'm willing to share with you this morning.
Well, that's awfully nice of you, Charlie.
And now, the morning breakfast cereal.
We have also met on the AM radio dial, especially in the middle of it. On the large radios, all of the zeros are there. 700, 800. On small radios, it says 6. Conrad 7, 8, 9, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 6. The big radio said, but all of them, those stations between 600 and 800, were always widely spaced apart. Always widely spaced. And they had announcers, well-modulated speaking voices. They always had serious subject matter. In fact, they never had music. There's no music between 600 and 900 on the radio. It's all talking, man. The only music you hear is an occasional national advertising jingle. But you get down past them, you get towards 600. You get down to the hopelessness of 54. And you wonder why it ends there. What kind of good stuff are we missing on 420? Nowhere to go but up. And it's Washington.
Tune in in again tomorrow for another breakfast cereal. What happened to the country? Basically,
drive about 160 miles east of Los Angeles.
And you'll run into country.
You'll run into the country.
Basically, what's happened is TenQ is now on FM 97, and Bobby Morgan is, well, as they say, you can take the boy out of the country. But
Tis a neat thing that's happening here.
What's happening?
Well, we were just talking about radio and things like that, but I would really be remiss if I didn't say something about one of my colleagues who's been with me almost ever since KGBS went country, and then we went to, AM and FM and all this. Chris Lane, who's been on from like 10 to 3 for the past 2.5 years, and middays. One of the most professional men I've ever worked with. He's around here in a building somewhere. I think we should have him come in and say
Chris
hello.
In the studio.
Somebody go out and get Chris in here, because
this is a rare day in broadcasting.
That's right.
Something you don't normally hear a country disc jockey and a.
That's right. No, I've since I came.
They can't get his gurney through the door.
I thought his batteries went dead on his wheelchair. No, I've been through the Hudson and Landry era, the Bill Balance era, and we had, everybody, with the exception of you, and even you, has come through this radio station. I'm going to write a book about the things that have gone on in the last 10, 12 years at this radio station. Yeah. But of all those people, there are probably only 2 or 3 that I would consider real professionals that I've worked with. And Chris is one of them. He's the kind of guy that, and I'm getting sentimental here and all this stuff, but I'm assuming that it's the time to get sentimental, because what we're witnessing is the demise of a station. And I think we would be really remiss if we didn't get Chris in here to say a few words on behalf of the American Red Cross or something. I don't know. He'll be in here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Good morning, Charlie. It's 6 minutes before 9 o'clock at 10QK here.
8:54, Bob. Boyd R. joins me, and Bob.
Good morning.
Good morning, Boyd.
Morning. Oh, you got 3 people on the radio, and none of them has anything
we have spent the past 2.5 years, Bobby and I, together in the morning, the way you and I have spent together in the morning for the past year, Charlie.
Right.
And that is by freaking out regularly. And now that we're together on a formal basis, we don't know what to say.
I know. It's that way. I think, it indicates that there's a lot of deep feelings when it comes to camaraderie.
We go back really a long way. But I'd like to say one thing about our news. Unlike any other commercial station's news since the inception of TenQ or the inception of K-Hits, we have never sold the news to anybody.
Oh, that was our sales manager in the studio.
Of course, the thing was that nobody ever asked.
For purpose of historical record, if anyone should ask, the TenQ report has been without commercials since December 26th, 1976.
And that's a fact. From the TenQ K-Hits 97 newsroom, I'm Boyd R. Britton. County officials in Los Angeles say a tentative labor... After all that buildup, county officials in Los Angeles say that a tentative labor agreement has been reached to head off the threat of a strike by 60,000 public employees. Well, then why did I even read the story? Nothing's going to happen. However, that something will happen. The agreement reportedly gives county workers a 20% increase in pay and fringe benefits over 2 years. A mild earthquake rattled Los Angeles today. The temblor measured only 2.7 on the Richter scale. There was no damage reported. Reporting from Peking, United Press International says that China has banned cigarette smoking by students and is trying to get the rest of the Chinese public to cut down. It's a dramatic step because of a dramatic rise in cancer deaths in China. 500% increase as the Chinese smoke, and they do. Quite heavily. Chrysler Corporation is in bad shape, losing more money this spring than it lost all last year. And although I don't know if Chrysler still owns New York's famous Chrysler Building, I know who's buying it. Jack Kent Cooke, with the money he got from selling the Forum, the Lakers, and the Kings. The index of leading economic indicators, which is sort of an economic crystal ball, shows we're in a recession for sure, down in June and slower than at any time since 1975. President Carter's new Attorney General Benjamin Civiletti won Senate committee approval today. The Congress today voted to censure Charles Diggs, the Michigan Democrat who took kickbacks from his own staff, but they didn't throw him out of Congress, though he was taking government money. At San Clemente, some visitors to La Casa Pacifica before former President Nixon moves out. Officials of a Denver-based summer camp for teenagers confirm members of their organization have been invited to stop by. And the exiled Shah of Iran and his empress are out touring Mexico. They flew to Oaxaca yesterday to go to an Indian folk arts festival. Drew quite a crowd, apparently, and he's out in public despite the danger from possible assassins from Iran. Former Secretary of State Kissinger has set 3 conditions to support the SALT II treaty. Kissinger says we've got to beef up American defense spending. Language in the treaty should be clarified, and a connection should be made to link up the compliance with the treaty to Soviet behavior in other areas of foreign policy. That's to get Kissinger to support the treaty. Of course, getting the Senate to support the treaty is another thing, but Kissinger is considered influential. President Carter will visit a coal-burning power plant in Kentucky today, trying to focus our attention on energy still. We can focus our attention on oil, the oil from the Gulf well blowout that's floating toward the coast of Texas and may stain the white beaches of Padre Island. They still say it's about 4 days, 100 miles away from touching shore. South African heart transplant pioneer Christian Barnard says he has rejected a $250,000 offer from the National Enquirer. He considered it immoral, unethical, impractical, and of doubtful legality to perform a human head transplant, so he won't. And now, a lesson in what not to do when the police visit you in Michigan.
Michigan state troopers thought it would be a typical break-in, but then Judy Jorgensen told them what the thief took.
After gaining entry, he stole a nickel bag of Hawaiian gold marijuana from her dresser. When asked why she kept the illegal contraband like that in her house, she replied that if she kept it in her car, she'd get busted for sure.
State police say they doubt they can charge Jorgensen with anything unless the thief is caught, admits his guilt, and testifies against her. Chris Havlick in St. Joseph, Michigan.
If you're looking for the next Kathy Rigby or Nadia Comaneci, well, you might look toward Walnut Creek, California, although this story is from those U.S. National Sports Festival games in Colorado Springs. The girl's name is Tracy Lee Talavera. Tracy is a pigtailed youngster of 12 who won gold medals in both the uneven bars and the balance beam Monday night in women's gymnastics. A stunning performance, according to the report. Other than that, in sports today, we've got a couple of ball games. Again, Seattle at California. Again, Los Angeles at Cincinnati. And the weather in L.A. today, smoggy as heck, and sunny, too, when it breaks through the gray or brown, depending on where you are. And highs in the 80s and 90s with 10Q and FM 97K hits.
8:59. Well, in just a couple of seconds here, Boyd, I'm going to drop another shoe, and we'll also have Chris Lane with a few words here on the radio.
All right.
It's going to get crowded. Not yet, Chris.
Close your mouth.
Dr. Hook at 8:59 on 10Q and K hits.
When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it's hard. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you know it's hard.
KTNQ, KHTZ, Los Angeles, 901. Charlie Tuna with Bob Morgan.
59 minutes if you got to be there by 10.
And our world-famous personality.
Here you come again.
10Q at K-Hits 97. Charlie Tuna at 904. And my special guest today...
We
got more people in the studio than we've ever had.
Just point.
All right.
We'll talk. Bob Morgan and Charlie Tuna and Chris Lane is over.
Chris Lane. And also we have our special guest who dropped in over here today because, well, we got actually...
Me and Sergio, the new Spanish announcers, man. You ain't supposed to be in here right now. You know what I mean?
Nobody's going to believe...
Cleaning this place out, we go in Spanish with it. Mexican, we gonna play mariachi music, everything. You know what I mean? Hey.
Wolfman Jack, the one and only, is here this morning. And I think we can drop the other shoe now. What's going on? We've been trying to explain this, but because of things that happen in radio, you couldn't talk about it till now. But as of noon today, 12 o'clock noon today, 10Q will be no longer what you're hearing 10Q as right now.
Absolutely.
It's going to be become a Spanish radio station.
A 50,000-watt Spanish radio station.
Right. And I've got Sergio here, the rooster. And Sergio, what I just said, can you explain to him briefly
Buenos días, Los Ángeles.
Buenos días. Shut up.
All right. Anyway, this is what's going down in news. So in the meantime, TenQ is moving to 97 FM, and we were talking earlier, Bobby and I, Chris Lane. Chris, you got a few words for your fans out there, because I know they want to hear what's
It's
going on.
been nice being with them, and they have been so very supportive and beautiful people, and we appreciate them, and if they'll just drop us a card or letter, we'll let you know where we're going.
Okay. That's the important thing.
We'll
Bobby wouldn't say, but there aren't too many other places that play country.